Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. I hope that you are doing great wherever you may find yourselves, and blessings to all of you wonderful people out there. And welcome to my penultimate episode in my little mini-series where I talk about my top 10 favorite live album discographies of all time. So this is slot number 2, in the ranked number 2 spot, if you will. And today's band, British band, go figure, is King Crimson. And the two most frequent talked about live albums, not by all, but many of us, are USA and The Night Watch, the Wettin era, if you will. And these are must own, and that's what this mini-series is about, talking about any band, artist, or musician who has 8 or more albums that are live in their discography. And it's about quality, not about quantity. And if there is a quantity, as there is here today, that's just a coincidence, if you will. But I have 14 or 15 or 16 CDs, or in some cases box sets, items, if you will, to show you. King Crimson is notorious in the oxymoronic good way of having a plethora of live material. They perhaps have more live material than any other band in the rock oeuvre, if you will. But nonetheless, here we go. USA. This is the 30th anniversary edition. The print is so small. This is the classic lineup, if you will. Cross, Fripp, Wettin, and Bruford on percussion. And This came out in 2022, but of course it's the 70s lineup. Anyway, so sorry about I don't have the year here, but you have Walk On, No Pussyfooting, as they were wont to do to introduce their material. Then you have Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 2, Lament, Exiles, Asbury Park, Easy Money, 21st Century Schizoid Man, then the wonderful Fracture and Starless. Great way to close out the album with those two wonderful songs. And then here, of the two, this is my favorite. Easy Money, Lament, Book of Saturday, Fracture, The Night Watch, Improv, Starless, and Bible Black. Disc 2, Improv Trio, Exiles, Improv, The Fright Watch, The Talking Drum, Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 2, and 21st Century Schizoid Man. These are by no means perfect, but they're excellent nonetheless. My hang-up with this one is that I'd rather Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 1 than Part 2. And there's some other things, but yeah, it's so worthwhile having. So if you're going to start somewhere with King Crimson live, I suggest these two and then branch out. Next is a wonderful, wonderful CD, King Crimson, Ladies of the Road. So this is during the Islands tour, if you will. This came out in 2018. Get a little gatefold or quad. There's the gang, Boz Burl, of course, on vocals and bass, then making his way to Bad Company. And I was surprised how good this is. So you have 2 discs here, disc 1, or as it's called here, volume 1. You have what's the Ladies of the Road disc, Pictures of a City, The Letters, Formentera Lady, which is a bridge, but it's still good. The Sailor's Tale, which is excellent. Circus Groon is here. Get Thy Bearings, 21st Century Schizoid Man, and then The Court of the Crimson King. All excellent. Then Volume 2 is simply called Schizoid Men, tracks 1 through 11. It works as a suite because there are different variations of 21st Century Schizoid Man combined. Really, you can treat it as one gigantic suite, one song, even though there are 11 tracks, and it flows despite the fact that you have some of the same moments of the song repeated. It works. You have to listen to it. There's no other way to describe it here to do justice to it, but this is fabulous. This is a must-own. Speaking of must-own, they all are here, in my humble opinion, is King Crimson live in Newcastle, 1972. Again, the classic lineup, December 8th, 1972. This essentially is Lark's Tongues and Aspic performed live in its entirety. You have an announcement as a track, which is a pet peeve of mine. Don't do that. You have 2 improvs, Improv 1 and Improv 2, so it's a little bit more than the album, but it's great. And you have the wonderful photo on the back, which is too small to see, of the 5-piece, if you will. All right, next is the twofer. This is the BMG CDs that came out. They were usually twofers, or the collectible King Crimson. This is Volume 1, Live in Men's, 1974, and Live in Asbury Park, 1974. And again, you have the classic lineup of Cross, Fripp, Wetton, and Bruford. I'm just going to talk about Live in Men's here. Live in Asbury Park. Most people are familiar with that if they're a King Crimson fan. But this one, you have Live in Men's, The Savage, which is an improv, then Dr. Diamond, improv, Arabica, Exiles, improv, Atria, then The Night Watch. Starless is amazing here. Lament, then Trio, which is an improv version, and then closing out with Easy Money. So I saw on eBay not too long ago someone is selling their entire King Crimson BMG collection, which was the website where, you know, if you sign up to that fan club, if you will, and you bought all the CDs, this is like $600 the guy selling it for, and it's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger on that. Tempting, but next is the big box set that many a King Crimson fan raves about, and that is The Great Deceiver box set. Again, the classic lineup. Disc 1 is the Palace Theater, Providence, Rhode Island, the 30th of 74. 9 tracks total. But then I'll get to side 2 in a minute. Disc 2 in a minute, which is really good, perhaps the best disc. But despite only having 9 tracks, you do have Starless to close things out, so that's a long track. You have a wonderful improv. Disc track 5 on CD1 called A Voyage to the Center of the Cosmos. You have Easy Money. You have an improvisation version of Providence. You have Fracture. You have Lament. Of course, all of these, many of these begin on, you're going to have to find in some capacity, except Disc 2. No, all of them have some variation of Walk On or Walk Off. No pussyfooting here. Which is the title is taken from the Robert Fripp, Brian Eno release, which is quite excellent if you ask me. So yeah, this first disc is, again, 9 tracks only, but it's wonderful. It has Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 2. Again, I'd rather have Part 1, but nonetheless, it's great. Disc 2 is Providence. Did I have a brain? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Disc 2 is Providence continued, but it goes onto a second disc, so it's the same show. It's the encore. You have 21st Century Schizoid Man, Walk Off from Providence, ... no pussyfooting. And then it continues with a new show, still disc 2, Walk On to Glasgow Apollo, October 23rd, 1973. Shark's Lungs and Lempsip, so an improv of that Lark's Tongues and Aspic song. It's very good. Then you get Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 1. Finally, Book of Saturday, Easy Money, Will Let You Know is great. The Night Watch, improv, tight, scrummy, Peace, a theme, and then ending with Cat Food. And then you get a third treat, which is 2 songs from Penn State University, 1974, Easy Money, and then It Is For You But Not For Us. Then disc 3 is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 1974, Walk On. The Great Deceiver is great here. They have another improv called Bartley Butsford, so a drum performance here. Exiles, Daniel Dust is an improv. The Night Watch, Dr. Diamond, Starless is fabulous here. Improv, Wilter Carpet, The Talking Drum is here, and Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 2, which is abridged. And then another Penn State, couple tracks, Applesauce, an announcement, and then improv, Is There Life Out There? Finally, disc 4, Toronto Massey Hall, 4 songs, which ends with Clueless and Slightly Slack for the first show, the Massey Hall show, and then the Zurich Volkshaus, November 15th, 73, which is the better part of disc 4, is Walk On, No Pussyfooting, improv, some pussyfooting. Then you get Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 1, yay. Then you get improv, The Law of Maximum Distress Part 1 and Part 2, Easy Money, some more pussyfooting as improv, and then the Talking Drum to close things out. This is a wonderful box set, which is this version of the box set is out of print. The original, you get a wonderful booklet. and this is so worth reading. So yeah, definitely a box set worth having. I think now you can get this box set only by way of individual discs, or one set is the first two and then another set is the second two, something like that. So I've seen it on Amazon. Next is the Projects box set. You get Project 1, Live at the Jazz Cafe. Live Groove is this. Project 2, Live. Project 3 is Mask. Project 4 is West Coast Live. You have different lineups. One lineup, Project 1 is Levin, Gunn, Bruford, and Fripp. Project 2 is Gunn, Fripp, and Ballou. Project 3 is Pat Mastelletto, Gunn, and Fripp. And 4 is Fripp, Gunn, Levin, and Mastelletto. And I did a video on this, so I won't say much about this, except show you the discs. This is long out of print, but you can get it on Heaven and Earth box set, which I do own. Wonderful box set. The problem is that what I'm showing you here in the Projects box set, all these 4 discs, is that you can only play it on your Blu-ray player. So if you don't have a Blu-ray player with a good setup, you can't play it on a regular CD player. So that's why I finally got a copy of this in excellent condition. So, all right, next is Live in Toronto. This is the 3-drum lineup. I won't read everything here, but this is November 20th, 2015. You have Soundscapes here from Fripp. Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 1, After the Soundscape, is great. Pictures of a City, of Room. You have Radical Action, Meltdown, The Hellhounds of Krim, The Construction of Light, Red, and Closing Side 1, or Disc 1 rather, with Epitaph. CD 2, you have Easy Money, Level 5, which is just Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 5. You get some wonderful stuff from Islands, The Letters, Sailor's Tale. Then you get Starless, and closing with The Court of the Crimson King and 21st Century Schizoid Man. There are a couple other tracks I didn't mention. Then a couple of 3 CD sets with Blu-rays. You get Radical Action to Unseat the Hold of Monkey Mind. Yes, 3 CDs and 1 Blu-ray, recorded live in 2015. Pat Mastelletto, Bill Raflin, Gary Harrison. So those are your 3 drummers. So this is a 3-drummer setup again. Fripp, Jaco Jasic, always butcher his voice. He's wonderful. Mel Collins on sax and flutes. He's wonderful. And of course the fabulous Tony Levin on bass and Chapman stick. I'm not going to read any of the songs here, but this is very wonderful to have. Even better is Live in Vienna, December 1st, 2016. You have some soundscapes that are like the last 4 tracks, and the first track as well. It's a walk-on song, just an introduction. But you have songs like The Hellhounds of Krim, Pictures of a City, Dawn Song, Suitable Grounds for the Blues, Room, The Construction of Light, Court of the Crimson King, some stuff from Islands, Radical Action 2, Level 5, Devil Dogs, Easy Money, Epitaph, Circus, Red, Meltdown, Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 2, Starless, gotta have Starless, and Starless close things out here, not counting CD3, which is the encore expansions with the soundscapes. This is wonderful to have. Now, as wonderful as this is, it's excellent, and this is even more excellent, if that makes sense. This is even more excellent than the other 2. This is Meltdown, King Crimson live in Mexico, recorded live at Teatro Metropolitan Ciudad de Mexico. Sorry, I'm butchering that city. It's 3 CDs and a Blu-ray disc. You get a little booklet here. Love a good booklet. And here are the discs. This is discs 1 and 2, and then discs 3 and the DVD. The Blu-ray. Here are some of the songs, but not all of them. Walk On, Epitaph, Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 1, Neurotica, Dawn Song, The Hellhounds of Krim, The Talking Drum, Lark's Tongues and Aspic Parts 1 and 2, not back-to-back though, Starless, Easy Money, Peace and End is fabulous, Court of the Crimson King, Discipline, Moonchild, Prince Rupert's Lament, Pictures of a City, and ending with Cool Jam. This is fabulous, folks. I would suggest if you're new to the 3-drum lineup version of the band, you start with this with respect to live material. Okay. Next is the Elements box set 2017. This is the only Elements box set that I have. There are ton of these. I'm not going to read all the tracks, but you have 2 CDs and a 24-page tour booklet. I love disc 1, 19 tracks. You have things, it's an anthology, so it stems from live performances as early as 2015 through and including 2016. So the title of this is a little misleading. It's not all live material from 2017. Same for disc 2, it's a variation. You have songs on disc 1 like Meltdown, which is a rehearsal, Thela Hun Junjit, Steven Wilson, alternate mix, Heartbeat Live, Sleepless Live, Peace 2015 rehearsals. A lot of this is rehearsal stuff or instrumentals or edits, but they're wonderful, or excerpts or extracts as they're called. Disc 2, however, is really where it's at. It's almost like a suite. Here's why. Here's the track listing. Form number 1, Thrack. Then it really gets going with Keep That One Nick. Then Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 1, Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 2, Keep That One Nick, Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 3, Keep That One Nick, Lark's 4 Construction, Keep That One Nick, Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 4, Level 5, which is again Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 5, and then Lark's Tongues and Aspic Radio Advertisement. With the exception of that last one, it works as a Lark's Tongues and Aspic / Keep That One Nick suite. They're not all from the same date. Some are from 1974, 84, 2015, etc., 2003, but it flows like one masterpiece, magnum opus song, or suite, if you will. This is fabulous. It's the one. I've heard some of the other ones because a friend of mine has like 10 of these or something like that. And of the ones that I've heard, this is my favorite. 2 left to talk about. King Crimson, June 29th, live in Chicago. This is really packaged well. 2 CD set. Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 1 is here. Neurotica, The Errors. Circus is here. The Lizard Suite. Those back-to-back is a nice treat. Fallen Angel, Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 2. Other songs include Indiscipline, The Construction of Light, Meltdown, Radical Action 2, Level 5, Starless, Heroes, and 21st Century Schizoid Man. And then finally, 2021's, yes, this is called Music is Our Friend, live in Washington and Albany, 2021. Some of the songs include Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 1, Pictures of a City, The Court of the Crimson King, Red, Neurotica, Indiscipline, Epitaph, Level 5, Starless, 21st Century Schizoid Man, Discipline, Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 2, Islands, to close things out for the second show. This is wonderful. So there you have it, folks. This is my penultimate episode in this little mini-series, and stay tuned for tomorrow's episode where we wrap things up with what is my favorite live album discography of all time. See you there. Bye now.